So last is Petras. Now listen, if you guys have been following me and you guys tuned into my live streams over the past couple of years, I have been so supportive of Petras's music because I think the concept of a trans pop star is so cool. She is pretty iconic. She transitioned at a very young age. I remember seeing interviews and stuff of her when I was very young and feeling very inspired in a lot of ways. So I met Kim a couple years ago when she was barely starting her music career here in LA, and I was one of the only people to show up to one of her shows, again at the Abbey. I keep going to the Abbey. There was not a lot of people there, not a lot of people knew who she was at first, and we had like a little bit of a moment. And honestly, I had begun hearing through the grapevine that Kim didn't like me and Kim thought I was a very bad person, which I was confused by because I was never anything but kind to her. I would encourage my supporters to buy her music. So when I heard that, I was shocked, and it was a very reputable person that told me that. But she basically heard me talking about that in a live stream and then proceeded to message me saying, "It's all good, I love you, everything's really amazing, like you're great." And I thought that was really sweet because she didn't have to reach out. She didn't have to say, you know, we're cool or I like you or anything like that. So I felt really good about that. However, a few days later, she tweeted, "F Blaire White." And I was very put off by that, and she was actually responding to a Twitter troll who was telling her to hate me. And so I thought it was just, again, the whole like way different in DMs than they are in public type thing. It's such a common thing in LA and just in this industry in general. And I'm not gonna lie, my feelings were hurt, like really hurt. It hurt my feelings. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like she definitely gave into the cancel culture mob by joining in and saying "F Blaire" despite behind closed doors saying how much she loves me. And that's really unfortunate. I think there's a lot of people maybe in her ear. And, you know, I'm sure it's very difficult being in the music industry. I don't know what it's like, but I do know that, again, I don't tell people I love them behind closed doors and then publicly bash them. That sucks. So if Kim felt that it was best to distance herself from me and my public persona or whatever, more power to her, do whatever you want to do. But I just feel like she didn't have to say "F Blaire." She could have just never talked about me or to me again. She didn't have to say "F Blaire." You know what I mean? However, I'm not petty. I still bump her music. I still, you know, want everyone to succeed. I still think it's really cool. I think she's very talented, and shout out to Kim, even though you hurt my feelings.